Welcome back to the Talking Cleary podcast. We've hit episode 10, mate. Moses Leota and Flaxxy's back.
Mate, I'm back. Did you miss me?
Due to unpopular demand, Flaxxy is back.
Mate,
Thank you again for Joseph last week. He's we had a lot of requests for him to come back on this week, but he was busy crying in his bedroom in the corner, I think, after the Tigers taught him a lesson.
Mate, I saw the outtakes of the podcast last week. You were definitely crying. You're like, where's my Panthers buddy? I need him because I disagree with him.
Okay, do everything that we do every morning and every night before we go to bed. Thank you, Ivan. Oh, how was the week off, mate? Off chasing chicks?
Oh, mate, went to Melbourne, had a good time.
How is she?
Mate, Melbourne's beautiful. I didn't see my missus.
Oh.
But I did catch
Tell us more.
Mate, I
Love Island with Flaxxy.
I caught the flight back with the Panthers boys. It was pretty good. Spoke to Moses Leota. So number 10,
What's that got to do with your missus?
Mate, nothing to do with the missus because I didn't speak to her. But, went up to the Gold Coast.
Give her a shout out.
Shout out to... I'm not... Let's move on. But went up to the Gold Coast game, met up with Clarky, met up with Blake from Denny and Denny and Blake. I don't know if you know who they are, but they're pretty cool content creators. Met up with a few other people. It was really fun. Thank you to everyone that came up to me, took photos with me. That was awesome. It was, surreal, You know what was funny? I went up to collect my microphones because the security took my microphones off me.
How come?
Because you couldn't take microphones in there, even though everyone I knew had microphones in there, and they stopped me. Maybe it's being a Panthers fan or something. I don't know. But I went to get him back, and as I got him back, this kid goes, "Hey, Hudson Young," and I lost him. I was like, "What did you say?" He was like, because I think I scared him. I was like, "What did you say?" He was like, "Hey, Hudson Young." I fucking started laughing. It was great. But
give context on that.
For context, pretty much, I in a new rugby league game, I opened a pack. It was one of the rare packs you get, and instead of celebrating hard, I was like, "Oh, hey, that's cool. Let's move on." And I got absolutely roasted online for it. But overall, pretty good weekend, a pretty good week. Had a bit of stress palpitations in that second half, but we'll get to that. What about yourself, mate?
No,
you missed me? You missed me. I know you did.
Of course I missed you, mate. Of course I missed you.
I kept getting messages at 2 a.m. in the morning. I was like, "When are you coming back?"
Yeah, I was waiting for his TikTok live. I was waiting for it all. No, mate, good weekend. Mate, realistically, great win from the boys. It's 8 on the bounce. Never lost.
Mate, never lost.
Still undefeated since we started the potty. The Dogs got taught a lesson. In the battle of the Penrith little brothers, the Tigers got the win. So... how good,
mate? And they
life's good.
They got one of these put on them. Let me just jump on my back real quick. Whoa! Yeah. Shout out to JC for the merch, but yeah, mate, they got destroyed.
How good! I think he's got a discount code, doesn't he? FINU14.
FINU14 for 20% off or something like that. So get yourself on that. But yeah, we did brilliant, man. We did brilliant,
mate. You're up first. You're everyone, our whole viewership's favourite segment, Flaxxy's fan mail.
Flaxxy's fan mail, mate. Look, we got some good questions this week. We also got some talk, we got some obvious ones out there and we'll get through them. But I picked my favourite 3. Hello, Jazzy. What do you think the team needs to do to make another grand final and ultimately win the comp?
You go first.
I think we just got to keep building, games like this. I was speaking to Moses Leota about it. You would rather win and learn a lesson than to lose and learn a lesson. And I think this is what this game has shown us. We definitely, taken something back or taking something away from it. And I think we just need to keep building. We've taken this trajectory. We've timed our run pretty well. We just can't let it fall now. And I think there's the next question that's there that will sort of follow this up, but yeah, we just got to keep on the grind. Don't capitulate like we did, and in the big games when we verse Storm, Raiders, and Dogs, we'll show up what we've been doing the past 8 weeks. So I think that's what we need to do, and we'll show up in finals. That's what we need to do.
From my point of view, what do I think the team needs to do to make it to another grand final and ultimately win the comp? Stay fit. I think we've got enough big game players. We've got if people like Nathan and Dylan and ultimately Isaiah now can stay fit. I'm concerned about Dylan with his with his leg on the weekend. But if those three can stay fit and Bizza can be as fit as possible, I think I don't see the weekend showed me a lot of things. I can't see anyone being on our day. I don't think anyone will beat us.
I agree.
If we get there and we're fit, we win.
I think that's how we've won the past 4 comps. Our fitness has just outdone every other team. Like, no team has been able to keep up with us because we play 80 minutes.
No, I'm talking about injuries.
Oh, injuries. Well, that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. What happened with Dylan? I was at the game, so I didn't really see much happening in terms of that.
He had a leg brace on his on the start of the game, ripped that off, and then he was sort of like cramping and going on a little bit. So I think he might be carrying something a little bit. But as I said, if Nathan can stay fit, if Isaiah comes back well from this shoulder, he's out for a couple of weeks, I believe.
We've lost Lauren Patea as well.
Yeah, Patea for 6 weeks. So that's the thing. I think we probably don't have the depth that we potentially had over previous years, but we just need our key players to not be injured when push comes to shove.
Key players to stay healthy and the young ones to keep doing what they're doing. Mm-hmm. We'll get to that shortly. As I said, following up from the last question, this question by Lockie J5935. Is there a lot of concern after the nearly shock loss to the Titans? I don't think so. I think, is it concerning that we allowed that to happen? Yes. But I think it got to the head that the Titans, they're a bottom 4 team. We've put 24 in it. We don't need to go 100% to risk injury or ruin our fitness. So I think that's what the mindset was with the boys, and that's why we kind of capitulated in the second half, and it became a worrisome game where it wasn't meant to be. And I don't think we do those type of performances against the big teams. Mm-hmm. I think against the Storm, against the Bulldogs, we will never come in at halftime and then not come back out. And so was it worrisome for the game? Absolutely. We shouldn't be doing that. And I'm very interested to see how we play this week with the Knights to see if we do it again or if we play a full 80 minutes. And
I'm actually think it was a good test for us. I think people very much, although the Titans haven't had a great season at all, they're going to finish in the bottom couple. But I think people are very underestimating the amount of strike weapons they've got in their team. Like the people like Jaden Campbell and AJ Brimson on their day are as good as anyone in attack, in my opinion. So in terms of that could happen to anyone in any given day. They beat the Broncos last week. They've turned a little bit of a corner and are playing some really good footy at the moment. The fact that we were able to deal with that little bit of adversity and then still pull it out of the fire and win that and send it to Golden Point and then eventually win, I think is a great sign for the boys. I think it's all positive signs from our point of view. We prefer that little bit of a test than win by 50.
Yeah. And on that too, what are your thoughts on the controversy that happened towards the end of the
obviously
half?
Not good. It was, and we'll address it now so we don't have to talk about it later. Obviously it's just whether his intent was there or not is irrelevant. It was, I think, in my opinion, a complete accident. We'll never know whether it was or not. I think the club probably deserved the fine. I think in terms of him, potentially being suspended, I think for the rest
5 games.
Yeah, for the rest of the regular season, I think that's fine.
We did something wrong. We deserve the consequences.
The only thing I will say is that it's happened in the past when we played Parramatta. A trainer ran in front of Nathan and he missed a kick, and we lost the game 22-20, and nothing came of it. So in terms of consistency, that's the only precedent they have to run off, and we'll get to consistency with the judiciary because I think they're kidding themselves at the moment. But yeah, I think overall, I think it's probably a fair fine, it's probably a fair penalty, but overarchingly, I think there needs to be consistency with the judiciary.
Yeah, I agree. And look, as you said, we'll never know if he meant to do it, if he didn't mean to do it. He apologised. The club's very sorry about what happened, and look, we will learn from it. Everyone started saying, it was the same trainer as it was. It wasn't the same trainer. Look, things happen. Maybe, and as Des Hasler said, did it cost him the game? We'll never know. Because he might have missed a kick. He might have missed a kick anyway. He had another chance to set it up. Did he deserve to get to able to kick at the front? I don't know. So...
Well, that's not the rule.
That's not the rule. And unfortunately, it does come off as bad gamemanship, but at the end of the day, you can only... It's happened. We've got to live with it now. So, and I just hate personally that we had a big comeback. It looked really good, and now it's been tainted by that controversy. So
Tainted by haters, mate.
tainted by haters, but tainted to say the least. And final question. This one was a mix of like two people, but I've put them together. Out of the Raiders, Dogs, and Storm games, what game worries you the most and why? I'll let you go first for this one.
None.
None of them worry you.
What you worry me in which way?
Like,
I think all three were very underwhelming.
No. Like, we verse all three teams coming up.
Oh, none. No, please. I thought you meant on the weekend.
No.
No, out of the 3 games coming up, no. Like, but who worries me the most? Probably the Raiders. I think Storm have got injuries. Dogs are trash. And like, mate, the Tigers have beaten more top 8 teams than them. I think it's Storm. Oh, probably the Raiders.
You better hope we beat the Dogs because the amount of shit you talk about them, if we lose to them, that'll be insane. For me, I'd say the Storm or the Raiders. I'll agree.
You better hope they beat them because the amount of shit you talk about them. You just answered the same thing I did.
No, but like, if you let me explain, I think the Raiders we haven't versed this season, so we don't know, and we lost to them last season. Like, I just don't know where they're going to be at, where we're going to be at. It's at
I
Mudgee.
think they match up well against us.
It's a neutral home ground too. I don't care. People say Mudgee's Panthers. It's not. We haven't played there, so it's a neutral home ground for both teams. On a Friday, which is the stupidest time, but we'll get into that in a few weeks. But that's why I'm worried about them. They match up well against us, and we haven't versed them, and I just don't know. We don't usually we don't usually have good games against them. Sometimes we flog them, but like other times they just beat us.
You know what though? Overarchingly, to answer your question, which of the games matter? They don't matter. At the end of the day, it only matters in the finals.
Yeah, true.
These games will show us a lot. It'll be a good confidence builder and different things. But overarchingly,
well, let me ask you this then: if we would, which one wouldn't you want to verse in the finals out of the 3?
Who would we want to play?
No, who would you not want to play?
Probably the Raiders.
Yeah,
just because they're the unknown.
That's true. That's
the
very
unknown.
True. So yeah, that wraps up the Flaxxy's fan mail.
Look at you go, mate. Well
How
done.
Good, mate.
If I had to prompt you again, but.
Mate,
well
you should have waited till after the game finished because I was going to post it after the game finished.
Yeah, of course you were.
And you post.
No, Ripley, we believe you.
Yeah, no.
Anyway, well, you've done a really good job. You're doing it week on week on this one. So Harvey Norman's women's review, mate. Take the stage.
Mate, look, I can't step around it too easily. We lost 30-4, big scoreline. It wasn't the game. It just wasn't our game, and it sucks because it was against Parramatta of all teams. You know, like. Well, we had to.
Who are you going for?
I knew you would come up with that.
Wait, who lost? You said we. So who's we?
Who's we? Penrith lost.
Okay, got ya.
Parramatta Eels beat the Panthers 32-4. But as I said on my video, and I will say again here, I don't think the score reflected the game at all. We had 41% of possession, but in completion rate, it was pretty much very similar. Parramatta just were better at executing plays than us. The weather, as everyone would know, was absolutely shocking over the weekend. I was so glad we played in Gold Coast because, it was sunny up there when we played. But yeah, it was piss pouring down, drop balls everywhere. We just couldn't get the execution there. And I think when it comes to Parramatta, they just had a bit more experience in terms of being in that higher grade for longer, that they just outplayed us and outclassed us. And you're going to get that when we're a new team, new team into the women's division. But, mate, my players of the game, Jacinta Tui, Emily Eden, and Abby Grant. Abby Grant had a really good charge down. Again, just couldn't get the ball after she charged it down, and it was just execution at the end of the day. And I think if it was a sunny day, man, I think we honestly potentially would have won that game. I think it would have been really, really close. But look, something to learn from. And we verse Mounties next week, so I'm very interested to see how we go up against them. Hopefully the weather is a bit better, but if not, hopefully we just do better. I'm not expecting us to come first, like we're first in. No team ever. I don't know if any team that comes into a comp comes first straight off the bat. It's very rare. Dolphins didn't do it. Titans never did it. So it'll be very interesting to see.
I think Melbourne did it, didn't they?
I'm not too sure. I don't have the
I think
stat
Melbourne
on it.
did in 99.
Melbourne's Melbourne. They cheat. So, but yeah, I think
I could be wrong by that as well.
If weather's pretty much the same, I'd love to just see improvement. And I've always been a fan of the effort that the girls shown, which they showed again. And if all I want to see is 110% effort and improvement week on week. And if I'm seeing improvement, which again, today we played this weekend we played in the rain. You never know what could have come out of it. You just can't handle a ball when it's pissing down and conditions don't work for you. But it's something to learn from. So next time we're in that position, we can hold the ball. We can do safer plays that then work and throw off the defense and maybe score a try or two. So, look, 32-4 loss. It's upsetting, but it's nothing to be concerned about, in my opinion. We move on to next week, and yeah, girls be very proud of themselves as always.
Who's Mounties feeder club?
I don't know. They're like Liverpool area, so I don't know if it's West Tigers.
Okay.
Or it might be West Tigers.
Okay. Do Tigers not have a team in the Harvey Norman?
I'm not too sure, but I think they feeder into them. Like, instead of having Wentworthville for Parramatta, they have their own team, and then Mounties have. I can check for you, but
no, all good. I was just curious. All good. You're going to the game next week?
I will try to. I'm going to be up in Newcastle, and the issue is I was meant to go to the game this week, just calendar clashes, with the going up to Gold Coast and then just not being able to just fit it in. But But I have been. Shut up. I've been watching every game regardless, and I will continue to watch. If I can't make it, I will be watching from my computer screen. So, and to answer your question, the Tigers do. They do. So I'm not sure, but they're home where the Mounties are playing. They're playing in Liverpool, so maybe it's the Dogs. I'm not too sure. I do not have an answer for you. The Dogs also have a team in the comp, so I don't know.
Fair enough. I think Mounties the Raiders feeder club in New South Wales Cup.
Yeah, I genuinely don't know the answer to that.
Sweet, no dramas, mate. All good, well done. Let's get to the nuts and bolts of it, eh? Let's get to the meat, the Riff report. Awesome Golden Point win from the boys. I think it was
Canberra Raiders.
Canberra Raiders.
Yep.
There you go. Know my stuff. Yeah, awesome. Golden Point win from the boys. I think it's very much a tale of the two halves, as cliche as that sounds.
Mate, I loved it. It was a score and end, and I was on the right side of the field. Yeah.
So there was a few games like this week, but yeah, the first half I think was just a really clinical performance from us, very similar to the 80 minutes we put together last week against the Tigers.
I think business as usual.
Yeah, it was just business as usual. The boys just got into their grind, got into their process, and just scored some really just business as usual tries, like Milky getting his one, like Dylan's try. I think it was very much just, we were one. It was just like pressing play and watching the video go. After half time, we as I said, the Titans have some strike weapons, so I think you have to sort of tip your hat to them and give credit to the attack that they were showing, because they were pretty impressive in that little period. We obviously have lots to work on, but that's good at this time of year. You don't want to be peaking on your run like some other clubs have already. And also, like, I think you got to be happy with the performance we were able to put together, like, back to back. After last week would have been an emotional game for us going against the Tigers, and we put in that clinical performance and took emotion out of it. So it takes a lot to get up for a game like that, which we've seen with some other teams this week. But yeah, being able to, come out in that first half and perform the way we did, I think it just shows there's lots to work on. But I think the coolest part of it necessarily is just the way we were able to pull it out of the fire after being, like, we were gone. We were no chance of winning that when they scored that last try. It was game over when Phil Semi scored. Or whoever scored in the corner. I think it was Phil Semi. Yeah, whoever scored that last try, it was game over. Like, we were on toast. And then, like, that field goal from Nathan, like, the amount of times he's just been able to do stuff like that in the biggest moments, like the Iceman, he's just him. Like, that was ridiculous.
Like, I was saying because I was at the game, I was just like, there's no, like, you can't compare him to anyone else.
Yeah, there's no one in the world who has done that as many times as him. Like Latrell did it this year. which from a similar distance in a similar situation, which was unbelievable. But no one's done it as consistently as many times as Nathan. Like, he's probably got, 5 or 6 2-point field goals in his career. Like, what's doing? I don't think anyone else got more than one.
Yeah. Latrell Mitchell this year for the Rabbits, but like I don't know anyone else that have done it this year successfully. And it's funny because that was the hardest field goal out of all 3 that he attempted, and that's the one he hit. Because when it comes down to clutch time, he knows how to get it on. And
the ice man.
And as I said at the day, like, look, I don't care what his origin stats have to say, man. Like, when it comes to being clutch and being one of the greatest players to do it, he is up there and he is the one, because stuff like this, when we've seen it with the team as well, Panthers made a massive comeback, We've done it multiple times. We've done it against Brisbane. We've done it against other clubs. We've done it against the Titans this week, and then you see other clubs that like want to mimic us and they're just not able to, they're not able to do it. So when it comes down to it, like, mate, you can't fault him for one part of the game that just is an anomaly, because that's what it is. That's what Origin is to it, like, at the moment. It's an anomaly. There's no reason why he's not being able to transfer it. But I will sit here and tell you now, at the end of his career, he'll be known as great. People will miss him, and he'll be known as the greatest of all time. And
yeah, but anyway, back to the game. Like, that was, just the way he was able to put that together. But then also the other boys in the clutch, like,
mate,
the fact. So you actually saw Nathan at that time, and as we were just talking about, like, he wants a ball in his hands. In extra time, he pushed Blaze in one, and he went to be the tip of the spear. He pushed himself one wider, was able to be the tip of the spear to actually nail that last pass before Casey made the break, and then put Blaze away under the post. Just the way the boys were able to, you just see it time and time again. The boys just absolutely wanting the ball in their hands in the biggest moments, which fills me with so much confidence coming late into the season.
And I'm going to mimic exactly what you just said, but
that's not like you.
But, mate, Blaze and Casey, the fact that they are so young and they're getting the confidence that we would have in Luai. Mm. And Luai's obviously, like, he had been taking years to get to that point. I think the weekend
was probably Blaze's best game.
I think so. Oh, I agree. Mm. By far was his best game. Obviously, the second half, I just credit the second half in terms of that. But in the coming back of the game and controlling the game and being under pressure, that's something you expect Nathan Cleary to be. That's not something you expect your rookie. I don't want to say he's a rookie, but for Penrith, your young, sort of unproven half, you don't expect him to be able to do that. You expect, okay, this is going to be...
The most impressive part is how tough he's playing. We say it every week, but how his defense and just he's taking tough carries and things like that, that's the stuff that is most impressive about him, because he's got everything else.
He's playing like we thought Luai would, and he's at that level at such a young age. It's only crazy what he's going to build with Nathan.
Did I call it from the start? 18th Immortal?
Look, you called it, man. Hey, it's just, I'm so happy to see, and Panthers fans should be so glad to see that this is what we are building. Like, when Nathan's time goes and passes, and however long that is, who's going to be in their prime? Casey and Blaze, and they're going to be the front runners of our, and we're going to be building around them. And I'm just you should be excited as a Panthers fan for what's to come, because not only...
It's funny that.
What?
Who's been glazing Casey and Blaze from the moment we started this podcast?
Hey, Blaze... Not Casey. I'll put my hand up and say, Casey, I wasn't convinced.
Flaxxy.
But Blaze.
Flaxxy.
You were saying 18 the mortal, but I was agreeing with you.
No, you weren't.
Yes, I was. Not with Casey. I will happily concede to that.
Check the tapes.
We'll check the tapes.
But
yeah, no, look, I hate to say it, but you were right. And it boils my blood.
Was I?
Because you're the biggest fucking
Was I right?
Oh, mate. Do you want a medal or something?
But
yeah, look, I'm just so happy that those two are going to be the ones we're building around for the future.
Hey, they're going to be in literally, not even in 2 years' time. Like, the fact that, like, right now, Casey's, with Herbie being injured, Casey's the best left centre in the comp.
He's
because now Herbie's injured. He's the best left centre in the comp right now. Like, Blaze is so under... Like, only people that are watching Penrith games are actually realising how good this kid's playing. Like, he's gone so under the radar. It's not even funny. He is absolutely killing it. Yeah, and just like on to Dylan, like I think Dylan looks a little bit busted, which is a concern. Definitely a concern after the last sort of month. He's looked great and looked back to his best. And he dropped a couple of balls and looked a little bit hindered. So hopefully, I was sort of touching on earlier, the one thing we need to do is stay healthy to win the comp, and he's a massive part of that. So
I think you're right there. Yeah. The fact that we're now coming into the hard games with the Raiders, Dogs, and Storm, I think it gets to the point where it's like, do we potentially rest him? Do we just not risk it? Do we get Dane back in there? And
like if he's good to go, he's good to go. I trust everything that Ivan's like, mate. You cannot not trust what the
I
boys
don't.
are doing
It's not
there.
that I don't trust him. It's just like, again, the fitness. Like if he looks hindered, like the fact that we kept Yowie, or we put Yowie back out there and we kept him on after. I wasn't really
apparently
happy with
he's out for 2 weeks, but yeah, Dylan and Bizza are definitely concerns around that. But they were both outstanding again on the weekend, as they are every single game. The two of the most consistent players, along with Yowie as well. I mean, he's the most consistent players ever. But yeah, they were great. Lindsay Smith just keeps going from strength to strength. He was outstanding again.
Do you reckon he gets picked for the Australian side? I think he's a smoky for it.
I think if they pick Max King, I'm not watching it.
Well, they've picked him in the Australian side before, Lindsay Smith.
I know.
Is he New South Wales or Queensland?
New South Wales.
So why wasn't he getting picked for it?
Yeah, he was in the squad game 3.
Can't pick another Panthers.
No, he was in the squad game 3, and to be honest, since that when he was in that camp, he's gone to another level.
Oh, 100%.
The last month or two, he's been one of the most improved players in the comp. He's been outstanding.
Yeah, and he's, as you said, he's just continuously improving, and he's just getting better. And mate, he's definitely filling in the shoes that we needed, and it's coming to the point where you're getting. Not getting to the depth that we had like in the last few years, but we're seeing players that you wouldn't think show up, starting to show up like the players before them. And it's so good to see that Lindsay Smith's getting there. And I think he's a smoky for Australia. I'm going to call that. I'm calling that now.
The thing that fills me with confidence is the way that when Yoey's off the field, it's business as usual because Lindsay slots in and just looks like Yoey wearing a wig.
Yeah.
So that's
Yoey with some hair.
Yeah. So, and obviously there's only one Isaiah Yo. I'm not saying he's like at that level, but when he steps in, he plays the Yoey role, and he's doing it at a great clip, which is awesome. So
it doesn't look out of whack at all.
So yeah, super, content with that. And so with Yoey missing a couple of weeks, I think he just steps into that 13 role and plays his way. Mate, let's get to talk about some ex-Panthers in the league. So on the weekend, we had a pretty cool thing. We had the battle of our little brothers. We had the Tigers.
The shitty battle of the West.
Yeah, we had the Tigers play the Dogs. So we had, obviously, the Tigers have got players like Tito, Romy, both the Mays, all our sort of juniors. And then the Dogs have got, they've got Jamin Salmon, they've got Critter, there's Birdo, there's Serraldo, there's Kickow. I can probably keep going all afternoon if you want me to keep naming them all. I'll probably miss some of the Tigers too. But it was a cool little battle. I think we saw that one team's fraudulent and how easy their draw has been for the rest of the year. But the one thing I want to touch on is with what I was talking about earlier with the Penrith player trainer getting 5 games and us getting a $50,000 fine. Totally okay with it. I think it's the right decision. If anything, maybe got off light. I'm not saying that. If you looked at so Alex Seyfarth made a high tackle. No qualms with it. He gets sin-binned. He gets 3 weeks. Stephen Crichton decapitated Taylor May, didn't get sin-binned, and got no fine, no suspension or anything. All we want is consistency. Like, if you, and I'll argue this till the cows come home, if you swap Stephen Crichton and Taylor May in that thing, Taylor May gets sent off, not even sin-binned. He's probably in Long Bay jail right now, the Tigers trying to bail him out, and he probably gets 8 weeks. He literally hit him square on the chin, flush with his shoulder. Like, all we want is consistency. I think it's ridiculous. All I'm saying is follow the money. The NRL, if the Dogs get a home semi-final, make an extra $4 million, it's estimated, because of how many people will go to the game. It's follow the money, Flaxxy.
Look, I think this is the point where we start to disagree. I agree at the point where he probably should have gotten a sin bin in the game, and probably he should have definitely got time off, a week or two. But in saying that, you look at the conditions. I know rules are rules, but you look at the conditions. he slips into it. Like, he
It's
slips
completely
so low.
irrelevant.
And
It's
then
irrelevant, Flaxxy.
Stephen Crichton gets us low. I know it's irrelevant, but
It's not the rule.
I think that's been taken into consideration, and that's why he hasn't got the week.
No, but that's not the rule.
I know.
The rule is if you hit someone in the chin with your shoulder, you get suspended.
Well, let's take this back to the Panthers game then. What happened with the bizarre?
Yeah, and I agree. That should have been. I think that that wouldn't have changed the result. Like, let's talk about the Bizza thing. Sorry, we totally forgot about that. But great point.
Yeah,
I think so. We've got a few examples here. You've got the Bizza one on Philip Semi. In my opinion, either should have been sin binned or penalty try. Whichever way you call it, I'm happy with. I think it should have been either way.
He also didn't cop any weeks,
and Bizza probably should have got a week.
Yep.
So I definitely think that. You go back a couple of weeks. Viliama kick out. He karate chopped Scott Drinkwater to the chin, and they didn't call it a penalty try. You go this week. You got Stephen Crichton has hit Taylor May on the button. Alex Seyfarth dead set love tapped whoever it was to the face. Harry Hayes, I'm pretty sure it was, and he got 3 weeks. Like, what? I don't really care about the Tigers, but I feel sorry for their fans. That's just crazy.
Yeah, I just wanted you to get that one out.
No. Good point. Great point. Great point. So I suppose they are consistently bad.
Yeah.
But I think the rules are rules. Whether they're slipping or they're diving or whatever is irrelevant. He hit him square on the button, and now Taylor May, he got a category 1. So although they got the bye this week, next week. They got the bye. So he's not missing a game. But if not, they would have been losing their best player. And in a prime moment of the game, the Tigers lost their best player.
Yeah. So
besides Adam Dwyer, what a freak!
Mate, he ran 65 meters or something. That was insane.
He got wheels.
That was one of his best games of his career. So,
you got any comments on any other ex-Panthers?
Not really. I didn't. No, not really. I didn't really see any. I really watched that Tigers. Well, most of them are in the Tigers and the Tigers Bulldogs anyway. So it's like we've covered half of it already.
Play.
What, the Eels? Do we have any of them in that game?
No.
No, Dolphins. Was that game anything interesting? Against the Wars, they beat the Wars. So, did Izzy Katoa? Herbie Farnworth, I know he's not.
He tore his Darren Semi.
Mate, do you reckon that cost them?
Maybe.
Do you reckon that cost the Dolphins?
I hope not. I hope they still make the 8 because he'll be back by semis.
Yeah.
It's 6 weeks, I think.
6 weeks, that's rough. But, yeah, no. I was pretty happy with... with our Panthers, and in that game, it was very just interesting to watch and fun to watch.
Yeah.
Especially with the Dogs, coughing a loss.
Fraudulent.
Do
you want to talk about the jumper you're wearing?
Mate,
and the controversy around that.
Mate, okay, yeah. So
obviously...
if you guys watch the Bulldogs, it's not Try July, which, by the way, of course, fucking Blaze scores in the week after. The week after, and I think he did a celebration, but it wasn't one that I suggested to him. But the Tigers...
He did do one. I can't remember what it was.
But it wasn't the one I suggested. So, but the Tigers did a celebration that if it was the other way around, everyone would be laughing at it and no one would be okay with it. And to be fair... people like Fred are it's a laugh. Why are we investigating it? But pretty much, they made this symbol to the Bulldogs fan bay or whatever.
Which, in Arabic, means take that.
It
means take that.
It means take
I know
that.
they're saying it as fuck you. It means take that.
Yeah, but that's what they're saying. It's not what the symbol is. It's what it's being interpreted as, which is a fuck you to the Bulldogs fans. Should they get fined or sanctioned over it? It's like if they did that. If they did that, they would get sanctioned for it. So maybe. But is it something to get riled up about? No. It's footy. Bulldogs fans are probably fucking laughing at that. At least fans that are in the circle of the content creator. I know JC was laughing at it. Fred was laughing at it. Who's this
a very prominent player sent it to Fred, and Fred sent it straight back as well. We won't say who it is.
We won't say who it is, but it's a laugh. It's a laugh. It gives some game some culture. And you know what? That builds that rivalry. The West Tigers Bulldog rivalry is now, it's top of the ladder. It's creating good rugby league. And at the end of the day, isn't that what we all want? We all want good rugby league, and this is what's going to create it. The next time the Bulldogs Tigers verse, fuck, I'm interested to see what the Bulldogs do. Are they going to do it back? Maybe not, because they'll ban it by that stage. But It creates rivalry, it creates competition, creates culture. And if we're stamping that out the game, what are we interested in? Like, really, what are we waiting for? But, yeah, I didn't really see a problem with it, and I think they've blown it out of proportion. Do I think they get sanctioned? Probably, because it's the NRL. They sanction everything. But do I think it's deserved, and do I think it's wrong? No, it's part of the game. Grow up. So that's my take on it.
Nice. And mate, finally, we're just going to talk a little bit about like the wide open race that the comp is. So on the weekend, we obviously saw the Storm were pretty underwhelming against Para, I thought, who Para are going to come, 15th or 14th or whatever on the ladder. They probably should have been putting them to the sword in that situation. Obviously, they've got injuries and different things, but I think they were a little bit underwhelming.
I think Parramatta, pardon me, I think Parramatta are actually building.
Look how happy you are when you talk about Para.
Mate, leave me alone. Look, I obviously, I have family. I have a soft spot for them, yes.
Yeah,
but
you got a Parramatta eel tattoo, don't you?
I gotta go to Let's Go Blues tattoo. But yeah, they're building towards something. They've been getting better and better, and I think you've given me shit. You've given me shit the past few weeks. But what did I say? Everyone keeps saying the Storm are in third gear or they're just relaxing. No. Because if they were relaxing, Craig Bellamy wouldn't be reacting walking out of the fucking...
I agree with what you were saying. It just wasn't agreeing with the words you were saying.
Yeah.
They haven't been absolutely terrible. They're coming second.
Mate, what about the Dogs then? What about the Dogs then?
They've had an easy draw. They haven't been absolutely terrible. Dogs have been good this year.
Yeah.
They've well and truly overachieved.
No, I was just seeing if you're rage bait or not. But I think they're definitely going to struggle in the finals, and this just shows them. If Parramatta, a team obviously that are building, but they're doing that to them. And Jerome Hughes, how long is he out for? Is he out for the season?
Don't know.
But, the longer he's out, the worse they're off. And they got a tough draw ahead. They got Broncos twice. They got us. They got the Bulldogs, and they got the Roosters. They could finish outside the top four. And that's the same with the Dogs. It's very,
yes, sir.
It's very interesting to see how this draw... You could see a draw where it's Raiders, because I think they're going to win the minor premiers. I think it's settled. You got the Raiders, Panthers, Broncos, and then Storm or Dogs. You could see them both drop out of the four, which is absolutely insane. That's my take on that game, at least.
Agree. Obviously, the Raiders lost to the Dragons. I think when you've won 11 in a row...
I think it's 11 in a row, but they've won a lot.
No, they won.
Was it 11 in a row?
10 or 11, yeah. They won 10 or 11 in a row, and I think eventually, when you've been up for so long, all things must come down a little bit. And, it was just a little bit of a perfect storm for the Dragons. The Raiders, they definitely wasn't a good performance from them, but they didn't get blown off the park like the other guys did. And, yeah, I think they were okay. The Warriors... They got beat by a tough Dolphins team, which does a great win from the Dolphins in the last play of the game.
Especially without Herbie Farnworth as well.
Yeah, absolutely. But in saying that, if Herbie doesn't tear his hammy, he just draws the fullback and Hammer would have scored. So,
yeah.
So the Dolphins probably win by a bit more. So, yeah, I think the Warriors obviously are hurt by injuries as well. So it's hurting them, and they maybe have peaked on their run. But, I think they're going to keep fighting, and they'll be thereabouts.
Well, I think we make the top four next week. They got the Dogs. They got the Dogs next week, and we got the Knights. If we win and they lose, we're fourth.
No, it doesn't matter who wins, mate. You know what? It doesn't matter where you come in round 22.
It's round 23.
It doesn't matter in round 23. It honestly doesn't.
No, but for the Panthers, it's looking good. We're in a good trajectory.
Yeah, but it only matters after round 27.
I agree. But trajectory-wise and projections-wise, it's looking good.
Yeah, but anyway. And then, so that'll be a bit of a litmus test for both teams now next week, the Bulldogs playing the Dogs. We already discussed the Dogs. Dogs got blown off the park by the Tigers last week.
Bulldogs playing the Dogs, yeah.
Dogs play the Warriors, sorry.
Yeah.
We already discussed they got blown off the park, and, I think the score flattered the Dogs, to be honest. But the way this next week's going to be a massive litmus test for both teams. It's a really important game for them, and people were saying that, the Tigers played their grand final. Well, for these two teams, this is probably their grand final. If they don't win this, both teams are really struggling. So, in terms of what it means for Penrith, I think we're in a really good position to build. And as you said, top four. Mate, I know if you're saying we finish second, imagine we finish second.
Just imagine the outpour of anger across the whole league, because they don't like to see us win. They hate us.
Well, the thing is, since we're doing the potty,
Mate,
We've
never
lost.
lost. We've never lost. Mate, we're undefeated.
We're undefeated. Mate, I think that's us.
Thank
you
well, let's
very
do,
much.
Let's do the tips for next week.
We don't do tips on this.
Mate.
Thank you very much, everyone, for liking, commenting, subscribing, for all the support you guys have given us. Our views have been great, and we're happy with it. So, Flaxxy's going to do a couple of clips for us this week, and we'll see you next week.
Mate,
Thank
it'll
you.
be good. Appreciate everyone for joining. Make sure you answer some questions in the potty because, we'll shout you out and we'll answer them. So
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Cheers, guys.